Hello Internet! It is Vashti. It is August 27th, Thursday, and as promised, I am coming to you again. I'm still not sure what day I'm going to be doing the video blog thing, but I knew I wanted to do this one today after I had my follow-up appointment with Dr. Goslin today. So, also as promised, there is something awesome on the whiteboard. I meant to actually write something. I was going to be a smartass and actually write something awesome, but I still don't have a marker. So instead, I posted a really awesome picture that my friend Will made. It's amazing. And you also get bonus cat presents. So all in all, this is already shaping up to be an amazing video, surely worthy of YouTube fame and fortune. So, today I wanted to talk to you guys about research. When ALS started to pop up its ugly head in my life, when I was pursuing what was wrong with me and ALS began to be a possibility and then a probability, I was really frustrated by how little there's known about ALS. We know practically nothing, and everyone presents differently, so there's not like a recipe for the disease. And I knew that if I was diagnosed, I would want to be part of medical research. And the day I was diagnosed, I asked, how do I get to be a part of this? I have a very dear friend with cancer, and I was gonna try to keep it PG, but no. It's really fucked up that he suddenly just has cancer, and it's terrible. And I don't know if it's worse or better in some ways, that at least with cancer there's something you can try. I am grateful, so grateful that with my disease nothing hurts. It's humiliating, it's a long march, and it is a definite death sentence, whereas sometimes you can survive cancer, sometimes. But at least with cancer, there's something you can do, just to not feel like you're waiting for death. And it's frustrating as hell that with ALS, there's nothing. There's a pill you can take that may give you another 6 months of viable life. That's it. There's no, we can try to burn this disease out of your cells with radiation or chemicals, or we can put you on these drugs that will do something. No, there's one drug that might give you an extra 6 months. That's bullshit. And I knew from day one that I wanted to be part of research, because we need to fix this. Someday we need to find a cure, but until then we need to at least find a cause, and we need to find treatments. And we can't do any of that without people with ALS participating in trials. And the instant I was diagnosed, before I was diagnosed, I knew I wanted to be one of those people. I know a lot of people have reservations about that sort of thing because it can be dangerous. It can shorten or worsen the life I already have. But I don't give a shit, because even if this kills me, or even if research kills me, ALS is going to kill me anyway. And if I'm gonna die, at least I can die being a data point for some researcher to use to cure somebody else. At least if I can participate in medical research for ALS, I won't have been diagnosed for nothing. If somebody can get something out of this, then that will have made this worth it. to me, honestly. If I can... If my help in research leads to a cure for the rest of the human race, then sign me the fuck up. Seriously. I don't know that I'm altruistic enough to say, yeah, I would totally volunteer to have ALS so that I can participate. No, I would not have signed up for that. But if I have to die anyway, then bring on the needles and the charts and the pills, because we need to figure this out. And you can't figure this out without human trials. So, when I was diagnosed, there was a specific genetic test that Dr. Goslin wanted to do that would tell us if I were a viable candidate for the bulk of the research going on right now. And I was turned down, and I was devastated. Like, had to go home early from work because I was sobbing. Devastated that I was turned down. But this year, my insurance is different, so we pursued it again, and they said yes! Yay! So we did that, and they confirmed I do in fact have the SOD1 mutation, which is a very mixed message because, one, it means, yay, I get to participate in a lot of the research going on, potentially, but it is a nail in the coffin of, yes, this is ALS. I was presenting atypically enough that we kind of had a sliver of a glimmer of a hope that maybe it would be something weird, but no, it's ALS. And unfortunately, it's familial, which comes as a shock because there's nobody else in my family that I'm aware of who has ever had ALS. Granted, I don't know a whole lot about my father's side of the family, except great-grandma who lived to be 100 or so. But I don't know the rest of his family. They could have been dropping dead left and right from ALS, for all I know, but I don't think so. I think that would have come up at some point. And it kind of doesn't surprise me if nobody in my family has ever had this before, because of the whole genetic fuckery already present in my DNA. Thanks to the combination of my mother and my father, like the ectodermal dysplasia stuff. Neither of them had it, but the two of them, their powers combined, screwed up their children for life by, well, you know, no sweat glands, no hair growth, your teeth are gonna get screwed up and brittle and fall out, and people are gonna think that you've got meth mouth all your life, and yeah, you're a little girl and you're not gonna have hair until you're 8 years old. That's not gonna be a problem or anything, is it? Being mistaken for a boy until you're like 13? No big deal, right? So yeah, it doesn't surprise me that if it were to turn out that it's just my mother and my father combined, this mutation spontaneously happened. It's just cosmic proof that those two should never have been together in the first place. Hi, Mom. So it's familial, which leads to complications because, one, I have a little brother who's got 2 little kids. It's a genetic test. We could probably find out if they've got it. But here's the thing. If I had... I'm glad I didn't know until I actually had it. My life would have been different, and it would have been probably really horrible having this over my head for my entire life, knowing that this was going to happen. So I'm really glad that I did not know. But as a parent, I think I'd probably want to know if my kids had it. I don't know if I'd want to tell the kids, but I think I would want to know. So the genetic test opens up a whole bucket of worms. One of the research possibilities that I have open to me is a university in Maryland who is doing case studies on people with familial ALS. And one of the potential things there is that they can contact your immediate family to also get tested. So we may be able to find out for free, which would be amazing. There's nothing clinical with that study at all. It's just a conversation, medical records, we're keeping track of you and how you decline, etc. The second test, or second place I've contacted, this is all under Kim Goslin's tutelage, is there's a university that's actually doing clinical trials. I don't have a lot of information on that yet, but I know that they're actually doing stuff. Contacted them, and he put me in touch with his coordinator and asked like where I lived and that sort of thing. So I'll keep you posted on that. The third one is I've not been able to get a hold of them yet. I actually heard about this research through the ALS symposium that I attended with my main babe Danielle a couple of months ago, and it's a really promising study about copper molecules in your brain. Yeah, I'll find the link to that and put it in the YouTube description because it's actually really interesting. It's basically, we're poisoning you. We're putting copper in your brain, which is a toxin, but somehow in mice it is able to completely halt ALS progression, and we can start and stop it even with this treatment. And they're going to human trials as soon as they can figure all that out and get funding and whatnot. So that's really amazing and promising and hopeful. And as a result of the appointment today, I've actually already begun participating in another trial. The cancer center at the hospital where I go for ALS treatment, they've discovered a protein that correlates with cancer, and they've also noticed that same protein in ALS patients. So they're pursuing that lead, and they asked me for some of my blood so that they can, you know, case study. And I said yes, and they took my blood out of the back of my hand because my veins were not available today apparently. I usually bleed really well, and people at the blood bank always said, you got really good veins, but today, not so much. Anyway, so yeah, I am pursuing all of the treatments, all of the research, all of the everything that I can be a part of. Partly because I don't know what else to do. There's nothing else I can do. You're dying. Just hang out till you die. Yep. No. Gonna do what I can with this, and yeah, I will participate in every trial that I can. I will research everything I can. Hopefully something good out of this can happen for somebody. And I guess that's all I have to say about it. Just I'm doing this thing. It's awesome. And this is me on camera saying that even if this research kills me, no regrets. Damn it. And yeah. That's all I gotta say about that. I hope you guys are having a great week, and I will talk to you next week.